Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and or listening to the podcast, and welcome to my house. It's time for another ServiceNow Store highlights video, or SSH 12222023, our second to last episode before the end of 2023. For this episode, we've got 44 new or updated applications in the ServiceNow Store. You can see them down there just beside my head. And up here, we've got 44 for episode 12222023. Let's go ahead and group this by category so we can see what we're working with here for this episode. And we've got in store for you 3 compatibility updates, 10 fixes, 16 highlights, 6 minor updates, 6 new releases, and 3 release notes fails. Let's jump right into it and check out that breakdown, and we'll start running through all of the different applications. We'll group this by category. There we go. And let's start out with the compatibility. So 3 compatibility updates. All of these were to Vancouver, 99% certain. We have Blue Voyant integration, Cisco Nexus Dashboards Insights application, and Tenable for ITSM all had updates just around compatibility. There were 10 fixes, mostly ServiceNow, which you can see there on the left-hand side, and 1 from Tenable. But let's just walk through them. Chat summarization for virtual agent, DevOps change velocity, DevOps data model, event organizer, integration hub usage dashboards, meeting recordings, mobile publishing, Now Assist in AI search, Now Assist in knowledge management, and Tenable.ot for vulnerability response. All had minor fixes, some very small fixes, not worth taking a lot of time. Speaking of small and minor, there are 6 minor updates. Let's go through that list. DevOps vulnerability integrations, licensing engine, Now Assist admin console, service graph connector for Tenable for assets, Tenable connector, and UXC generative AI all had minor updates. Just really small things. Again, not worth taking up time in the episode. And last on the quick hits here is the release notes fails. 3 of those this time around: Akamai Guardicore segmentation, flow generation, and Now Assist in virtual agent. If you're new to the show and not sure what a release notes fail is, I'll pull one up here for you. This is the flow generation. You can see in the previous release on November 16th, they told us they had something new about users. And in this release on December 13th, there's nothing new, nothing changed, nothing fixed, nothing removed. I'm sure something was changed. I think on this one, I think it's just a dependency between this application and some other AI applications that got updated, but that's essentially what a release notes fail is. I can't tell you what's new or what's updated. Now, let's get into the good stuff. We have 6 new releases this week. Let's go ahead and start checking those out. First up on the list, DevOps Utils is a new release from Archive AG. Boost your dev and ops speed and identify pain points faster. Key features on this new application: acceleration of maintenance and operation, save via hotkey in backend/classic UI, monitoring of mid-server queue, identify unused configuration artifacts, and search for all configuration elements, including workflow action scripts. Let's pull up their screenshots. We've got a few of them here. This is an invalid event detection record with a short description and resolution details. Next up is the on hold reason. Someone looks like they right-clicked it, went to an admin menu, and showed current record and list, which brought them to the on-hold reasons equal to awaiting caller. So they filtered the list of incidents for the on-hold reason awaiting caller. Okay, so easy list filter is what that is. Next screenshot, easy set value. So again, right-clicking the caller, admin, set value of field caller ID, and there's a pop-up showing a sys-ID for caller ID. And next screenshot is the one we just saw at the beginning, the invalid event detection. So that's what's new from the team at Archive AG. Next new release is going to be License Analyzer. This is from the team at OpenIT Incorporated. Integration app offering a unified view of the engineering and specialty apps across the entire enterprise. Key features for this new application: know who is consuming what license, where, and for how long. Easily implement a fair chargeback system based on accurate usage data. Reduce software costs by dropping licenses that are no longer in use. Smarter resources and license procurement planning based on actionable insights. Analytics for better vendor negotiations, and native integration with BI tools, or BI business intelligence tools. Let's take a look at their screenshots. This is a usage page for OpenIT, so it looks like their application, kind of seeing some application usage. Here's a dashboard, the Bentley token consumption dashboard, showing some various metrics. Then we've got a heat map, so it looks like the time of day this stuff is being used. And there's a video for the license analyzer, which I won't click on since you're already watching or listening to a video or an audio file. But that's what's new from the team at OpenIT Inc. Next up on the new releases, it's going to be Service Graph Connector for Forescout iInspect, unifying insight, amplifying efficiency, elevate OT asset management with seamless and direct iInspect integration, OT certified. This is from the team at Forescout TPT or TPP. Key features for this new application: the OT certified Service Graph Connector for Forescout iInspect imports IT, OT, IoT, and IOMT devices into the CMDB using best practices, including the Identification and Reconciliation Engine, or IRE. ServiceNow Operational Technology Certified Service Graph Connector. Guided setup gets you up and running in minutes. Import over 300 device type classifications from the Forescout iInspect API on a nightly basis and map to the best practice CMDB classes using ServiceNow's IRE and RTE, Robust Transform Engine. Map the imported devices to OT sites automatically based on which sensors which discovered them. Classification settings table makes it easy to view and customize which CMDB CI tables are populated by the integration. Scripted extension points provide additional opportunities to customize or override the data mapping, and scheduled import jobs let you import IT, IoT, IOMT, and OT devices on a nightly basis. We've got some screenshots. I think I've got a marketing screenshot for being ServiceNow OT certified. Then we've got the guided setup for this application, or the Service Graph Connector. Then we have a screenshot of OT assets, just a list view of assets. And let's see, now we've got PLC, I don't know what an OT asset type of PLC, probably a controller, I guess. Basically showing all the attributes associated with that PLC. And we're back to our ServiceNow certified screenshot. So that's what's new from the team at Forescout TPP. Next up on our list is going to be Service Graph Connector for Qualys. Frictionless integration for Qualys asset visibility. Key features: automatically collect and map your hardware data from Qualys to your ServiceNow CMDB. I actually was just in a call with a customer last week where we were talking about Qualys and the CMDB. Note this is an Innovation Lab offering, so not supported, no warranties, and I don't see anything about this not being on production like I see sometimes, so I think you might be okay if you want to take a look at this one. So that's what's new from the team at ServiceNow. Next up is going to be also from ServiceNow, Subscription Management V2. The ServiceNow Subscription Management application enables you to manage your subscriptions proactively and monitor subscription usage on your instances. So key features: proactively manage your subscriptions, like we just read, view insights about subscription allocations, allocate subscriptions using recommended groups, address issues with your product subscriptions, and monitor Now Assist usage. Now Assist being the generative AI new features from ServiceNow. We do have some screenshots here. First is the subscription management, looks like a integrated workspace showing the insights and basically a dashboard about your subscriptions. Next up is IT Service Management Standard subscription, showing the license type and the meter, and someone is adding groups in the screenshot. Next is an issues page, so there's unmapped global custom tables recommending which products to map them to. So that's interesting. They want you to map your custom tables. I don't think I've ever had to do that in my PDI. In the insights page, it's showing you have 79 unallocated subscriptions in IT Service Management Standard, so you're overpaying, I guess, by having too many licenses. Good luck getting those back. Overview page is what we just saw, and we're circling around. Okay, so that's all the screenshots for Subscription Management V2 from ServiceNow, and our last new release is going to be Tax Payment. Tax Payment is from ServiceNow, and it's for tax payment workflows. It is an Innovation Lab offering. In the key features: tax payment request, integration with tax portal, approval workflows, and streamlined interface and links. Let's take a look at the screenshots we've got here. First is an AP invoice form view. Payload from invoice stage will create a record in this table, and the flow will be triggered for approval. That's interesting. And thank you, team, for giving me some words to read about what the screenshot is showing. That's awesome. I believe you guys are the first to do that. Next screenshot is showing the invoice stage, a new record of invoice stage. So this is a backend table invoice stage, which will have payload of customer instance and transfer the payload as record to the AP invoice table. Again, thank you for the instructions. I love it. And next up is showing the approvers, tax approvers, our new record. Tax approvers form view based on this table reference table. Based this table reference table for tax approver and finance approver filed in a tax payment request. I don't know what I just read there. The wording is a bit weird, but hey, I'm grateful for some wording. But basically, you need to have approvers for your tax stuff apparently, and you can set them active or inactive. Next screenshot is under the tax payment requests. I'm looking at the admin home. After installation of tax payment request application, highlighted modules will be available under the tax payment request application. So what they're showing in the screenshot is the application menu. Under tax payment requests are tax payment requests, plural, tax payment invoice, bank type, tax approvers, tax payment methods, vendor codes, and GL accounts. Next screenshot, I think we're back to the beginning. So this is the original tax payment request screenshot. Yep, so we're circling back on those. So great screenshots from the team at ServiceNow for their new application, tax payment. All right, let's move into our highlights for this episode, not the fixes. There we go. Our highlights. We're going to start first with an update to Amaze by Intellective. It got updated to version 4.1.1, and in this version they have a new and improved UI, complete backend rebuild to streamline data calls and greatly improve load times of the builder, more robust properties page UI and UX. There's a list of bug fixes, won't read all of those, but let's take a look at the list of improvements. Tab component color customization, according experience and more interoperability, enabled media queries for distinct styling on different device sizes, enhanced link creation user experience, extend link creation to the rich text editor, view related documents from managed document plugin, enhanced preview to include interactivity, enhanced extension point support, enhanced responsive support with device media queries, and performance upgrades. So they called this a patch release. It looks like a major release if you ask me, but they know their product. Thank you for the detailed release notes from the team at Intellective. Up next on our highlights is going to be Cisco PLSS, or Partner Lifecycle Services Support, updated to version 2.0.5. And in this version, authentication method to push-pull data from Cisco is changed. TSP codes design has been upgraded, and fields related to TSP codes on the form are converted from choice to reference. Nice little minor release there from the team at Cisco Systems Incorporated. Next up is going to be Delinea Cloud Suite Integration, updated to version 2.0.0. And in this version, actually I need to check the previous release so I know what's new here. Yeah, so the new in this version is going to be from this point down. Incident and change management request form now has Delinea privilege escalation or elevation section, sorry, not escalation. Delinea tab allows to automatically create just-in-time access requests for an approved incident or change management request in ServiceNow, allowing a user in ServiceNow to request a specific level of privilege. Updated configuration properties page in ServiceNow UI for incident and change management workflows. Availability to display privilege elevation sets along with commands, and allow to monitor and control ticket status and only elevate when in a valid status. So that's what's new for from the team at Delinea Incorporated. Next up is going to be Doc Generator, updated to version number 2.8.0. And in this release, they've added PowerPoint merge capabilities and modernized the technology. I left it in the highlights for the PowerPoint merge capabilities. That sounded pretty cool. Next up is going to be Global Sign Atlas PKIaaS connector. Updated to version 2.0.0, and in this version, full chain certificate available on certificate page and an email, and trust chain certificate available on the certificate page and an email. Note that it is still Utah and Tokyo, so if you're waiting on a Vancouver update, this is not time to update to Vancouver for this application just yet. But that's what's new for the team at GMO Global Sign Ltd. Next up is going to be an update from My Forms, a ServiceNow Innovation Lab. If you haven't seen the video where I show My Forms and how it works, definitely check that out. I'll put a link up above. They've updated to version 1.4.3, and this version, new in this version, I should say, they have the edit a form that is already published, check out and make changes to republish, build and save a recipient list for future use, create a list from a recipient list, update an existing list, create from building a condition on the user table, and notify the sender when a response is received. So that's the new updates for My Forms. Next up is going to be the NetBrain automation integration was updated to version 3.1.0. And in this version, the improvements aim to address gaps and enhance usability. For example, show all status code in ServiceNow, even though alert is found per customer's feedback. Reformat the return status codes into formatted text, making it more readable. The TAF provides an improvement to support triggered diagnosis to run repeatedly an auto-close ServiceNow ticket if the diagnosis result matches predefined policies. Improvements are made on both ServiceNow app and NetBrain system to address the gaps. On the ServiceNow app, the intent result and more information will be displayed within ServiceNow ticket. For V2, triggered diagnosis, and then on NetBrain system. Okay, so let me read this. The intent result and more information will be displayed within the ServiceNow ticket. The associated NetBrain incident ID can be clicked to open NetBrain incident, display name of match triggered diagnosis, and show whether it's configured to run once or repeatedly. All intent results belong to one triggered diagnosis would be displayed together. Show auto close ticket message if the ticket was closed by webhook API, which sent from NetBrain. Show messages all diagnoses completed if all executions are finished. Remove link of open in NetBrain portal for each intent result. Update to a new format of intent result for existing ServiceNow ticket. And if the received diagnosis information larger than 10 megabytes, the remainder would not be displayed in the ticket. For V2 triggered diagnosis, remove link of open in NetBrain portal for each created map and executed runbook. The map name can be clicked to open the map. The runbook name can be clicked to open map with runbook and NetBrain. And lastly, the associated NetBrain incident ID can be clicked to open NetBrain incident. On NetBrain system, change the logic of which intent results will be sent to ServiceNow and provide more information for each triggered diagnosis. Wasn't planning on reading all that, but it was beginning to be unclear what I was saying, so I just went for it and read all that. So that's what's new from the team at NetBrain Technologies. Up next is going to be Nucleus Security, updated to version number 1.3.1. And in this version, the release enables functionality to group Nucleus-backed incident tickets by their properties, enabling them to be worked on more efficiently. Next up is going to be PagerDuty for real-time operations, updated to version number 8.0.0. And in this version, they're bringing us bidirectional synchronization of PagerDuty custom fields within ServiceNow incident record fields. Create a ServiceNow incident as a PagerDuty workflow action, enabling users to conditionally create a ServiceNow incident when specific conditions in PagerDuty are met. Immediate synchronization of PagerDuty priority, responder, and conference bridge updates to the linked ServiceNow incident. Webhook's health check module that scans configuration inconsistencies across the application while providing guidance on remediation steps. V3 webhook migration module that replaces all V2 webhooks and existing assignment group / configuration item mappings to the most recent version. Set default synchronization method, manual or automatic, for ServiceNow incident creation from newly provisioned PagerDuty technical services. Ability to bulk manage these actions or manage these across assignment groups and configuration items. Lastly, improved reliability of PagerDuty to ServiceNow communication due to optimization of how ServiceNow processes PagerDuty webhooks. Quite an update there. Let's see who's next is going to be. Rescue by LogMeIn was updated to version 4.0.4, and in this one they are now certified for Vancouver. Read it right there at the top, Vancouver, and generate PIN code from within the Service Operations workspace. Next up, it's going to be Return Center. The Return Center was updated to version 2.0.4, and in this version, they've added display and link to settlement report and certificate of destruction documents for each order, added certificate of destruction date on the order screen, enabled a program to have a custom buffer period for the earliest date a user can request a pickup, updates to only display prices when required, and added package-related dates on the order details page for enhanced parcel tracking. Next up is going to be the Service Graph Connector for Logic Monitor. Was updated to version 2.0.20, and in this version they added a new property and updated the business rule for device provision to choose whether to match existing Logic Monitor objects to Service Graph configuration items if the item already exists during provisioning. Instance monitoring and alerting can now be disabled or enabled from the Logic Monitor resource in ServiceNow. Outbound instance update has been updated to handle the enablement disablement of alerting / monitoring for relevant instances. That's what's new from the team at Logic Monitor. Next up is ShipEase Core was updated to version number 1.4.0, and in this one they've introduced international shipments with support for 26 different countries out of the box and international services from FedEx, UPS, and DHL. New fields allow for customs declarations on your shipments, meaning ShipEase can now support 100% of non-LTL / freight shipments your organization ships. Lithium battery hazmat designation to meet regulatory compliance requirements when shipment content include lithium ion or lithium metal batteries. So that's what's new for the team at InSource Inc. And not last, we got 3 more to go. Next on our list is going to be Trend Vision 1 connector, updated to version 2.0.0, and they've gone through a name change. So it was Trend Micro Vision 1, is now Trend Vision 1, and bidirectional sync with Trend Vision 1 case management. Synchronize case status, priority, and other case data between Trend Vision 1 and ServiceNow. Next up on the list is going to be VMware Workspace ITSM or One ITSM connector, updated to version 4.5.0. And in this version, they're introducing workflows and scripts, introducing the ability for a service desk engineer to run freestyle orchestrator workflows and UEM scripts on Windows and Mac OS devices from within ServiceNow incidents. Search by serial number, enhance the ITSM connector by providing a search by serial number option in cases where the configuration item information in ServiceNow is not populated correctly to have the serial number for devices. And so that's what's new from the team at VMware Incorporated. Next and finally last on our list is going to be an update from the team at ZoomIn Software. ZoomIn was updated to version 7.5.13, and in this version they brought us configuration of enable / disable analytics for different portals, case deflection fixes, opening related results from the topic, improvements of next / previous buttons on the topic page, include / exclude class names and include headers for the on this page, bug fixes related to styles, and bug fixes related to PDF. And that, my friends, is our entire episode. Let's summarize what you just saw or heard. That was 6 new releases, 16 highlights, 3 compatibility updates, 6 minor updates, 10 fixes, and 3 release notes fails. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what's new or what's updated in the ServiceNow store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.